Below 5 or 10 sets per week is not a sufficient effort to expect your best results. Between 10 and 20 sets per week is fine, but for many people, you have to use a second qualifier, which is what's actually happening to you. If you aren't getting super sore or super mega tired in your muscles for a day or two after training, if your strength continues to be stable or increases session to session to session, and you're on that fewer than 20 work sets per muscle per week type of...
Per muscle, not per body part. In other words, bicep would need to be 20 sets per week.
Correct.
Wow.
Then if all of the signs show that you're not actually excessively fatigued, your volume is either okay or less than it could be.
So this is honestly some of the worst advice I think I've ever seen in regards to lifting. And I can imagine if I was watching this video when I was first getting into the gym, I would have just thought, well, I guess more is always better. If I'm not sore, if I'm not fatigued, then I've just got to do more sets. And I'm going to tell you right now that is honestly the furthest thing from the truth. And the most important factor that I need you to understand when it comes to building muscle is your ability to progress your lifts over time. Because let's say we have two people, person A and person B. Person A only performs one set per muscle per week, but every single session, their number one focus is on progressing that single set, either lifting more weight or performing more reps with the same weight or both. Whereas person B is just obsessed with hitting 20 sets per muscle per week. And if we say that all else is equal, they have the same amount of sleep, they follow the same diet, and they are just as consistent, I can guarantee you that after a year, person A will be significantly bigger. Because in order for person B to do that much work, they'll most likely have to take short rests between their sets, and because of this, it is highly unlikely that they will be able to push each of those sets close enough to failure to provide a sufficient stimulus, and they'll simply just end up going through the motions and performing a significant amount of junk volume. And I'm not saying that you should only be doing one set per week in order to maximize your results, but if you're currently not progressing with the amount of sets you're doing, then adding more is certainly not going to make the situation any better.